Shop talk, shutty up, day, up, shop talk. Blast, 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 since thou hast walked uprightly as light in a dark land, since thou hast placed in thy heart all the Lord's commands, he set thee above nations and cast thine enemies away. He's standing up within thee. So let me hear you say, we're blessed in the field. We're blessed when we come and when we go. Come and when we go. We cast down every stronghold, sickness and poverty must cease, for the devil is defeated. We are blessed. Late in the midnight hour, God's gonna turn it around. It's gonna work in your favor. All things come together. Late in the midnight hour, God's gonna turn it around. It's gonna work in your favor. If the work out for us. Just when you thought it was over, God's gonna turn it around. It's gonna work in your favor. Just when you thought you were defeated, God's gonna turn it around. It's gonna work in your favor. Lately, oh, God's gonna turn it around and around and around and around and around. That situation, that hurt, that pain, disgrace, that shame, to your name, it's gonna work. The impossible, the invisible, the unbelievable, the intangible. I feel it's working. I see it working. And I'm glad about it. For the Lord God is the sun and shield. Who in grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from them.
What is going on, good people? It is your man D Toll. It is another day's journey, and I am glad about it. Want to welcome everybody. Want to welcome you to everyone's favorite show. You know what it is. It's Shop Talk, everyone's favorite show right here on everyone's favorite network. Listen, we are super glad to be here live right now. Whether you're watching us on Facebook, whether you're joining us on YouTube, or if you are joining us on one of our radio partners from around the country, no matter who you are, no matter where you're coming from, we are glad to have you hanging out with us. Listen, we have an incredible show lined up for you, but before we do anything, you know what you got to do? You got to get on the phone, call, text, tweet, Facebook, MySpace, Instagram, Social Cam, Periscope, Marco Polo. You know what? I gotta finish. I gotta fix my opening because we don't even use some of those things any longer. But nonetheless, whatever you got to do, tell your mama and them, Ray, Shay, Day, Delicious them, Nut them, Pojo them. Let them all know that we are live right here on the Shop Talk family of networks. And again, we welcome all of our radio partners from around the country. Actually picked up another new radio station over the last few days, and so we're excited about that as well. As we start going over the next few weeks, we're going to start shouting out different radio stations that are now streaming Shop Talk. So we're grateful, first of all, to each of those station managers who thought enough about us to allow us to be in the ears of their listeners. All right, y'all, let's get things going. If you did not know, my name is Demetrius Toll-Free. How do you know? Well, because it says so literally right there. Those of you watching this, my name is Demetrius Toll-Free. You can hit me up everywhere on social media at DTollfree, at DTOLEFREE. as well as those of you who are hanging out with us or do some different things. I have another way that you can hang out with us. You can see it down at the bottom. You can definitely follow us on the Shop Talk crew. That is, you can follow us on social media as well. Everything is at FDR Shop Talk. That's on Facebook. That's on Twitter/X if you still use it, as well as on Instagram. Everything is FDR Shop Talk. All right, y'all, let's get things going. Let's get ready to get rolling. And we're going to get ready to bring up some co-hosts, some people from around the country who are hanging out with us. But before we do that, let me give a couple of quick shout outs. First of all, to David Jones in the building. What is going on, man? Glad to have you hanging out with us on Facebook. We also have Brenda Irving in the building. Brenda, what is going on? Happy Shop Talk Day to you. Of course, we always have the incredible Ashlyn Tara Cole. She may still be in her birthday season. We'll talk about that in just a few, but she's hanging out with us on YouTube as well as you can too. If you haven't followed us on YouTube as of yet, you can do so. We are, I think it's still under Freedom Radio, under the Shop Talk. We're planning to launch a specific Shop Talk branded YouTube very, very soon. We'll make sure that we do that very soon. And I'll tell you why in a moment. But let's get ready to bring up our first co-host out in, I was about to go back to Pittsburgh, but nope, Hercules of California. My homegirl and yours is in the building. The incredibly talented, always funny. Again, she's in her birthday season. She's hanging out with us, always has a smile. I'm ready to bring her up without further ado. My homegirl and yours, the incredibly talented Ashlyn Tara Cole. Ashlyn, girl, what is going on?
What's going on, everybody? I am obviously in the studio, and yeah, we having a good day. It is a good day today. I have to tell y'all, I'm on a health kick. Okay, I go through phases. I go through phases because it was just last year that we were wearing our Fly in July t-shirts. Okay, and it's
I just
already
had mine
out.
on. Hey, I just had mine on the other day.
I
Yeah.
know, it reminded me of those great t-shirts. So I think, Detail, they're still available on our website.
I think so. If not, I might be able to re-put them back up. I re-put. Is that a
Okay,
word? I might
so
be able to put them back.
I know what you meant. I know what you meant to re-put. So yeah, get fit in February so that you can be fly in July. Okay, and that's what I'm on. So I want to share. I'm drinking. It tastes exactly how it looks. Awful. Okay. It tastes how like that. It's really not that bad. It's got let's see, blueberries and some mango, which are beneficial for my blood type. For those of you that know, I do follow my blood type. It's got protein powder. It's got some ice cubes. I put some garlic and ginger and some cinnamons, and that's what I'm having for my breakfast.
I'm not mad at you. It is all good. Listen, we've
funny,
got.
but it's good for you. It's good for you.
You know what I want to shout out? I don't normally do this often. I like your new setup. I like the new setup you have going on. Yeah.
That's us. That's us.
I see. So you're running both. You're running both your iPad, or is that your computer with an external screen?
Correct. Laptop with an external screen, which, because I can't get it all done on one screen. So I love having the dual screens with my MacBook Pro. Shameless plug. But yeah, I like this setup, absolutely. So when we're on the air, if I need to research something, I can just and find it, and then here we go.
That's good stuff. I absolutely love it. Shout out to Rob Ellis in the building. What's going on, Rob? Hanging out with us on YouTube.
Hey, newlywed.
Yeah, shout out to him. I think, no, I hadn't. Ashley Monet also hanging out with us on Facebook. And Rob says to you specifically that your hair, it's herring today.
My hair is herring. Yes.
Your hair is herring. Yeah.
You should have seen it before we went live. It was up in a bun. I said, oh, no, the devil is a liar.
God is exalted. He must be.
God is exalted.
Yeah, it is all good. Well, listen, I'm glad to have you hanging out with us. You keep on working on that. And we're going to get ready to bring up our next co-host up the street, around the corner, all the way up. Look to the left, tap on the door and knock on that window pane. and you'll see a young man come to the door that always had a smile. No shades today. Nobody has shades on, but he is hanging out with us. My guy is in the building. Ashton's bestie. Let's bring him up without further ado. Ja'Cory Proto in the building. Ja'Cory, man, what are you?
Oh, come on, Hell Kick. Come on, Hell Kick. Yes. Come on,
I already
best
took my
friend.
beats. I'm
Come
trying
on.
to get my turmeric and pineapple. Ooh, this
Come
stuff is
on.
nasty. Ooh, it's nasty,
No,
but
it's
it's
so good for you.
good for you. Yeah. So I'm trying to get my health better. Amen.
Amen.
So what's up?
Amen. Yeah,
Now those
all
are
is
from Trader
well.
Joe's. Those another shameless plug. Those are from Trader Joe's. For y'all, okay, look, we in a season, and Dito, I really pray that we put aside some time today to talk about this whole retail boycott. Okay, because I've had to get real creative. In fact, I'm gonna save these thoughts, Dito. Let's set aside. Let's get everybody up in here, and then let's talk about this. We've had to make some shifts in our spending. Amen. We're gonna talk about that today.
I'm not mad at you. Listen, we're going to keep these going. But let me give a couple more shout outs. We shout out my guy, Casey Pringle, who just texted me a few minutes ago. I didn't even have a chance to respond. But yes, Casey says, Casey hit me up and said he has brand new music coming very, very soon. And so, of course, Casey, as soon as that happens, man, we definitely want to get you in the building and make that happen. And we look forward to doing that. Shout out to my dude, BTK, Alec McPherson in the building, who also tells me, specifically, welcome back. Those of you who may know, I did a little traveling from last week to this week, and I just got back late last night. But I'm glad to be back. Shout out to Tracy J. Wilson in the building. And yeah, we have the doctor. She is in, Dr. Maggie Winter in the building as well. Yolanda Prothro in the building. Mama Yolanda upstairs. Mom. She is hanging out with us today as well. And so many more. All right, y'all. Let's get ready to bring up our next co-host out in Charlotte or North Carolina. Shockingly enough, today she is ready because she's rocking her freedom gear. Now, first of all, let me just give a shout out to Young Dito. I'm going back a few years, Ashton. You remember when I turned 50? We did the superhero, the Dito superhero. Yeah, it's been a minute because if I see August, I'll be 55. So that's already been almost 5 years since we knocked these shirts out. But nonetheless, let's get ready to bring up my co-host, my homie out in Charlotte, North Carolina. No big introduction today because she's gonna make herself known to us in her own special way. I used to hear a song that used to say, "Love me in a special way."
Love me in a special way. I don't know the rest of the words.
It's all good. What more can I say? Something. Love me now. So I can't remember. Anyway, my homegirl is in the building from Charlotte, North Carolina, formerly of Denver, Colorado. She's originally from Denver, for those of y'all didn't know that, but she now abides in Charlotte. I flew over her last night. Didn't get a chance to bother her while I was flying over Charlotte last night. But my homie's in the building. Let's bring her up, the incredibly talented Yolanda Wild Praise Morant. She is in the building, and she is side.
What happened?
You must have your orientation lock on your phone.
See, this is why you work at that app. See, this is why you work at Jesus Company.
Yeah, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Come on here.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
And the orientation lock off. Turn it back to the side again. Let's see what happens.
I don't know. I don't know how to turn it.
Swipe down from the right corner of your phone.
All right.
Let's see. Ikana shit. And she is in the building. And she is rocking her hot pink Freedom Radio hoodie. Let's go. Young Yolanda. She is in the building. Listen, glad to have you hanging out. We've got a lot of stuff to cover, so much stuff to cover that we're going to get right into it. But first of all, I want to give a shout out to Robin Doss in the building, who says to Ashling, sing it. Ashling, we're glad to have you, Robin, hanging out with us. Now, listen, we've got a lot of stuff to cover. But the first thing I want to talk about is not about what I normally do. I'm going off topic just for a second.
Really?
I know, isn't that? If you always do what you always done, you'll always get what you always got. Nothing changes until something changes. Anyway, people have been hitting me up. Yolanda just hit us up as well in our group chat to remind me that things around those of us who stream on Facebook, we do. We're part of that community that streams on Facebook, as well as so many churches and so many other people since pandemic 2020. Facebook is getting ready to change the way that they do things in the fact that the stream that you have or the stuff that you do no longer is going to stay on your account forever. According to what I've been seeing, and as many people have sent this to me, is that you're only going to be able to hold those streams on your account for 30 days. Am I right or am I wrong? Is that right?
Correct.
So that means that at some point we're going to have to do a mass exodus or a mass shifting in how we do our streaming. Now, I mean, we already stream on YouTube. However, we've been using that as a secondary streaming tool. In the next few weeks, it sounds like we're going to have to start using that as a primary streaming tool. So those of you, if you have not done so as of yet, please make sure that you follow us on YouTube. Right now it's Freedom Radio. We'll do a specific Shop Talk one soon. But of course, you can follow Ashlyn because she streams us on YouTube as well. But Yolanda, Ashlyn, Ja'Cory, tell me what you think about this. Now, I mean, I think what's going on, it could be that they are losing or they're running out of space on their servers. That's the only thing I could think of. There's probably has to be some sort of a server issue to where all of a sudden they need space or whatever that is only going to allow us to do 30 days. Ashlyn, I'll start with you. What's your thought on this?
If I'm being honest, I think that it has to do with monetization. Because the longer that you keep a video or a clip on social media, the more times it can cycle around and be shared and be streamed, and you get to monetize that stuff. So like on Instagram, for example, there might be a clip that, oh, and Leah Marie is on here. I'm so glad because Leah is the one who reminded us. So glad that she's on here. Absolutely. Or Leah to Yolanda, and Yolanda brought it to us. So that's what I think it is. I think it's about monetization, honestly.
Interesting. That's an interesting take. Now, Ja'Cory, I know you and I we may not stream as much as the great Ashlyn Cole and the incredible Yolanda Morant, but we still have our time on live. Man, what do you think about this whole thing that they're trying to change the way they do things?
I'm like, what are they going to try to have subscriptions now to where if you want to keep your stuff up, you have to pay a certain amount or what? It's my thing is show the checks from the people. I know it's some people really making some money, but there's a lot of people that ain't making none. So it's whatever. But I just hate that memories. I like that when the memories pop up. So if that stops, I'm done. If that stops, I'm done.
Wow. Yeah, I'm with you, Yolanda. I mean, I know you use this format as well for your Sunday night lives that you normally do with the creatives and all the type of stuff like that. So, I mean, this may have an effect on you overall as well. What's your thought on this?
Well, I'm kind of with Ja'Cory. I mean, I haven't monetized. Please, nobody come for me today. I'm trying to get rid of Trump's code. Okay. So I want to take a thought from two people. These are not my original thoughts. Number one, Miss Tamil Curtis, who is she does a whole bunch of things, but she said this during the season of the pandemic that we are on parked space. So these spaces really don't belong to us. And I think it's a perfect time for people to update their websites. I mean, that's the best place to host it. So your websites, your YouTube channels, YouTube may have more leverage, but I do feel like a lot of times when it starts, you can put me back in the space. Amen. I feel like a lot of times when it starts, I do better because I can see people's faces and it helps me think. So I think a lot of times when it starts in one place, it starts folding into an that was the whole
thing. Man. Yeah, I like the way you're thinking on that.
Yeah, it starts folding. When it starts in one place, it starts folding into another.
Yeah.
And so I think altogether, this is a perfect time again for people to, creators were trying to, website developers and creators were always encouraging this to get your website up to date so that, this is really going to affect like podcasters a lot. Because I'm not necessarily monetized, right? But it's going to yet. But to me, what I'm being along with it is really going to affect podcasters in churches. So if you are a church, this is the perfect time to get your website up to date. You are on Park Space. That is worse than Tamil. You are on Park Space now. Let me be clear. You are on this man's space. whether it's a TikTok or whatever. So it's a great time to make sure that all your website, all your information is up to date, and that way you can stream, because we want you to stream whatever it is you're doing. You can stream from your actual website, right? And the other platforms, even down to YouTube's, are just alternate spaces. Something else, I won't go real deep into what Lee Marie shared. It's her words. I think it's always something deeper. I never think it's surface. I'm not a conspiracy
Right.
person,
Come on.
but right now, you know what I'm saying, with the guy being in the office and, you know what I'm saying, his other friend acting out, it's just a deeper thing going on. And she said something to me that they're trying to cut content because from certain cultures, because no shade, you know, Black people, I mean, we do a lot of things and we do them well. And so I agree with the thought, though. I don't think it's just the surfacely. It may be we're running out of storage. It may be we can't keep all these videos here. You know, it may be Ashley, it may be monetized and people making a lot of money from us. But I think there's always something lower at the bottom that they're not telling us. So again, you know, without being long-winded, I'm closing this first part of my message. Please do not make the mistake and think that they care about your content, because they don't. Please update your website and push all that stuff over there. Download stuff, because let me tell you something. This white man ain't playing with y'all. And he, respectfully, he is going to delete the stuff.
Yeah.
They will not wait on you. They will not. You cannot call in and ask for an extension. They will keep their date, and they may extend it, you know, but they will keep their date. So take care of this.
Absolutely, I'm with you. Yeah, you reminded me of something. I need to update my website. That's you mentioned some good nuggets. So definitely your website should be first. Other social media platforms should be secondary or backup options. I love it. I think that's great. Shout out real quick to Spencer Elliott out in Austin, Texas, in the building. Rob Ellison talked about, to close out what we were just talking about. He says he definitely thinks it's a cloud storage cost and monetizing. Samuel Bryce Seymour, my guy, says that Facebook is first, YouTube will be next, so on and so on.
So forth.
I'm with you. He also says, those of you who are old enough to remember, where is Soul Beat when you need them?
What is Soul Beat?
So it used to be a Black-owned Bay Area cable network.
On.
Yeah, it was the funniest thing ever. Anyway, shout out to my dude in the building, Stephen Parker, also hanging out with us again, second week in a row. Glad to have you, man. Listen, we've got so much to talk about that I don't even have time to hang out here. Let's keep going. And here's what we're going to do very quickly. I am going to finally now get a chance to do my what's the name of the day? National Day. And that's what happens when I be going. Listen, so today we have National Day. I only have two. I have two. So today's National Day this is a good one. I thought I would mention this. Today is Set a Good Example Day. Set a good example day. For those of you who may not do it on a regular basis, today you should do your best to set a good example. Secondly, I got a chance to partake of this last night. Secondly, today is National Pistachio Day. So those of you who eat pistachios like I do, today would be your time to go out and get some pistachios. I had a chance to have some pistachios last night. I'm going to talk about that hopefully near the end of the show, but we got so much other stuff to cover. So much that I'm going to jump right now into our birthdays. I have three. Today is Erykah Badu. Erykah Badu, you know, you can call Tyrone, you understand me? Today is her birthday. She turns 54. Shout out to her. Secondly, actor and comedian D-Ray Davis. D-Ray Davis, he turns 43 today. He's from Chicago. So shout out to him. Today's his 43rd birthday. And last but not least, incredible actor as well as director Bill Duke. Bill Duke turns 82 today. All right, so those are all of our birthdays. However, I do want to do a special mention and shout out to Ashlyn Cole, who had a birthday on Friday, and hopefully you had a great birthday. And I think I hit you up on your birthday, but again, happy birthday again. So as I normally do in this particular time, Ashlyn, what better day for us to throw it out to you to encourage people who have birthdays in this season? The virtual floor is now yours.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, it's so interesting. I encourage people to celebrate their birthdays all the time. And then my birthday came along and I didn't really do anything. I did get dressed up. I did put on a whole face of makeup. I did do my hair and I went to class and taught my students. And my students were so funny because they noticed that there was a change, right? And this is what we've been talking about. If nothing else, carry yourself like you are special. Carry yourself like God did a great work.
Happy birthday to Happy birthday. Happy birthday to
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Bird.
To me.
Yes. Yes.
Bird.
I can't believe you playing that on the air. Anyway, look, take time today. If it's your birthday, celebrate it. Put on a face of makeup. Do your well, if you're a woman, do but you know, if you're a man, just put a little extra cologne on. And know that from all of us here at Freedom Radio and Shop Talk and all of our affiliates, happy birthday.
Happy
Awesome stuff.
birthday.
Ashlyn, I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, I want to give a couple quick shout outs. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Rhonda Jones, who is in the building. What's up,
Hey,
Rhonda?
cousin.
Glad to have you in the building. And then BTK being messy boots, as Devaris would say. Miss Devaris, got to reach out to Devaris real soon. See, he says he'd like to know when I'm going to go back into the studio for his own music. Man, time is of the essence. I just nothing is. I don't have anything in my head right now that I want to record. Jacory and Ashley know I won a competition. I think it's been a couple years now, and I just don't have a song to record.
Record
That's
him.
not true. You got a whole album full of songs. God,
But
please.
you know what, Dito? It's funny that you say that because I was reading a post from Nikita Fox, and she was stating the same thing. And we know she's a major master vocalist, and she's just like with music, the engagement is so different than it used to be. To where she's just
Yeah.
like she's about to go back to school to find something else to do because there's money there, but it's just the reach is a little different right now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
That's
Well, I
real.
listen. I appreciate the encouragement. I'm gonna see what I come up with.
Record
I've been
him.
thinking about potentially re-recording either a
Here we
cover
go.
tune or
Do a
meshing,
Kimberell.
meshing a cover tune with something else. I'm not exactly sure, but
So
we'll see what.
we gonna talk about that because there's a record label in Oakland called MMS Records that I'm sure we could work something out to get you back on wax. I'm dating myself, but get you back on wax because we need to hear from the voice that is Demetrius Tollfree.
Yeah,
I
can I add in
appreciate
one
it.
part? Just one. I won't be long. I won't even go into it, go into the text. Just can I add this one thing? You know what you would do well if you re-recorded any James Moore song. Just take your pick, right? Because you did that. Just
James Moore was my guy, boy. That
but
was my
like
guy.
any James Moore song, Larry Whitfield, I'm sorry, Thomas Whitfield, like tell them how I love you, Jesus. Oh, let me tell you something. Your voice is so amazing. And I think it doesn't matter what all the other kids are doing. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. I just think the earth deserves, you
Yes, sir,
deserve for
Doc.
the earth to hear what's in your voice. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it goes top charting or not. I
That's
just think I just think the earth. I'm serious. I think the earth deserves. You deserve. Jesus deserves. Whichever way you want to take it. Okay, to hear what comes out of you, because I think what comes out of you is not a sound that we have much anymore, and it's still very, very necessary. I've said this to you for a long time. So just take
Amen.
your pick. But I think people like those, the Thomas Whitfields, the James Moores, the people that we don't have with us anymore, they
Yeah.
deserve to be remembered. And I just think it'd be incredible.
Yeah, you know what I've thought about, and Jacory, Ashlyn, you all might hear me on this. I thought about now. We know that Eugene Cole's music is not available on
That
uh,
part.
on
Right.
anywhere, on there. Wouldn't it be amazing if some of our Bay Area artists
Yes.
re-recorded Eugene Cole's music and finally got his music out to the
Yes.
world?
Yes.
Man,
Wow.
I need to talk to his wife because I know she's the one who's probably over his
Selena
digital library.
Cole.
But I would love to have some of us re-record some of his songs and be able to put it out
Yes.
to the world as because he's another great that was left too soon. And
Yes.
I would love to do something like that. Maybe we'll talk about it. Man, I'm gonna reach out to. I saw her a few weeks ago, but then that wasn't something that was on my mind. But that is something that happens to be on my mind. We'll think about it. We'll talk about it. Anyway, Rhonda
Great
said
idea.
that the group is back together. I did not know, Rhonda, that the group is back
Yes.
together.
Surprise.
Okay. Eugene Cole and Persuaded, if my memory serves me right.
Mhm.
It is all good. All right, y'all. We're going to keep things going. We're going to do a round robin. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a round robin of topics, and we're going to do our best to keep these segments within 5 to 7 minutes. We're trying something new. We're trying to bring as much information to you as possible. And I want to mention this. Yolanda made me laugh. Yolanda made me laugh when she was saying that she was still trying to get over the Trump cold. I didn't know Trump had a cold or a flu, but I'm not mad at it. Listen,
Uh,
most of you know this is a tech moment, but then it also brings out a different point. Many of you know that I work for a small tech company based in Silicon Valley. We call it the Fruit Stand. And somehow or another, the CEO of that company has got entangled with the new presidential staff and team. And I saw recently where he did a visit to Washington, D.C., to the White House. From the conversation that Tim Cook, who is the CEO of Apple, which is a $4 trillion company. We talked about this last week. $4 trillion company. From that conversation, Apple is getting ready to build a new facility in the United States that's going to cost $500 billion. And they did it without blinking. A new $500 billion facility is going to be built where Apple can have all of its products built here in the United States. Now, many of you may not know that the iPhones and iPads that we use, they're put together in different places around the country. The screens, which for the most part are made by the people who make Samsung, those screens are made in like China or Hong Kong or something like that. Our current president wants all of that to be made here in the United States. The CEO of the company has said that they're pledging $500 billion to create a new facility to where all of our products can now be made in the United States. Yolanda, I see you nodding your head. $500 billion, they didn't even cost, they didn't do anything. And I'm not mad at it. Spencer Elliott, who is in Austin, he says there is an Apple facility. It's not new. That's actually my job that I have is based in Austin. So we have, in terms of centers, we have, of course, the Bay Area, we have Elk Grove, we have Austin, and we now have one in North Carolina, not far from you, Yolanda. But yeah, $500 billion getting ready to be put into a new facility specifically to make things happen here in the United States. What's your thought on that, Yolanda? I'll start with you.
Is it necessary? That's just my question.
That's a great question.
Places. Oh, you said I can't take a text. Okay. There are other places that money could go to better the world, to better the US, but people don't be really on that for real. So I don't know if I see, is it necessary? Like why are we messing with the people overseas and what they do?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I get it. But as a person who's traveled abroad, I've seen the wonderful technology that exists abroad. I mean, we're in real life, we're just catching up in real life. So I just wonder, is it, maybe my little pink opinion, I don't know. I just wonder, is it necessary? I mean, and if it provides more jobs, that's a beautiful thing.
It will definitely.
But is it necessary? Will it work? I'm not saying we can't create great things. I'm just saying what's going to be the product difference? Will it be better product? Or we just want to create everything ourselves? Because
I think they want to be able to create everything here locally in the United States. Corey, I know you're an Apple user as well. What's your thought on it, man?
Bringing it here, is there going to be a price change? That's my only question.
That's a great question too. I didn't even think about this. This is all good. That is a very great question. One we'll have to find out very, very soon. Ash, thought on this: $500 billion for a new facility specifically to create the products here in the United States. What's your thought?
Yeah, I think what's going to end up happening is that they're going to have to bring the people that really do the work and do the technology. I'm not trying to like you know I'm not trying to start anything. Here's a couple things. One, the president has added tariffs to products in Mexico and Canada and also in China. He wants us to be self-sufficient and ignore the rest of the country or the rest of the world. Excuse me. That's his thought. Me personally, I agree with what Yolanda said. But back in the day, I mean, Detroit was a booming automotive town, and
Absolutely.
we made cars in the United States, right? And so why not? Why not have that technology be here? Because here's the thing, if you're paying for the parts from another country and you're bringing them over here to assemble them here, why not manufacture the parts here? Because that money can go to households here. But I do agree with what Yolanda said. We pay for, we're paying people's salaries, minimal as they may be. I mean, I don't know what the minimum wage is over there, but it's not $15 an hour. I can tell you that. It might be
Yeah,
$15 a week, you know?
I'm with you.
And so I agree, the price is probably going to go up, but I'm for it. If you have that money and you want to start, it's going to employ thousands, maybe 10,000 people will get a job because of this new facility. So that those are important things to consider.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I like that. Shout out to my dude in the building, James Pugh. What up, bro? James Pugh is in the virtual building, an incredible singer, an incredible worship leader, musician, and my big bro. We've been rocking since the early '80s. We went to high school together, junior high school and high school together, and he's been one of my close friends. Glad to have him hanging out with us. All right, y'all, let's get ready to keep things going. And in doing so, I want to just let us know something. Many of you may have heard this. It may not have had any effect on you. But I want to just mention it in brevity, is that many of us are familiar with the cussing pastor,
Yes.
Thaddeus Matthews. I want to say he's from Tennessee somewhere. I could be off. I think he's from Tennessee somewhere. Tennessee, Mississippi, one of them. Anyway, the cussing pastor, Thaddeus Matthews, has
Yes.
closed his eyes. And I'm sure many of us have run across his webcast or podcast at some point or another. And if you were like me, every time my eyes was wide open, and as Ashton would say, my ear gates were challenged, for lack of a better term, every time I heard him. I could not believe some of the things this man would say, and would also say that he was a pastor. Certainly, our thoughts and prayers are with his family. But Corey, I see you trying to keep your smirk down. But this is interesting. I mean, I think he succumbed to like cancer or something like that. I can't remember what exactly he had, but this is a very interesting thing that this man has closed his eyes and gone on to be with the Lord. Man, what's your thought on that?
I think it's funny. I mean, it's funny to me the way the church people operate when it comes to cussing, because half the people in the church cuss.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, and that's my same ordeal with Leandria and her whole issue that we're going back into, but she's just public with what she does.
Yep.
Some people can gain from being cussed at. And I have everybody got an auntie or an uncle in their family. You go to the picnic, you go to the
Yes.
reunion,
Yes.
and I get a joy out of it. So,
Joy.
I mean, I
Who
love
said
them.
some people can gain from getting cussed at?
No,
That's true.
some kids learn when they mother their father's language change from regular English into a cuss, and it'll stop them from doing certain things. It's every household is different.
Jesus, that hurt my
So
soul.
I'm just a little different with it.
Yeah.
Because
with
if you hit
man.
your toe, you ain't speaking in tongues, and you ain't saying, "Oh, it felt good." Just be honest with yourself.
Oh Lord.
Sorry, I don't. It's a thing. I think it's a matter of you choosing better language. And so, yes, you can choose better language, but I agree with you, Corey. Some people may not. Some of your favorite people, whoever your favorite people are, they probably cuss. And I think the only difference with Jacory, I agree with him, is that people just don't do it publicly. That doesn't mean I'm condoning it. I'm just saying that the only difference is they have control. And so they don't cuss when they're in public spaces, whatever that public space is. I don't know why people, I'm not saying it's okay. I just don't know why people get off feathered. There are worse things in the world. And he's with you. I have an auntie that, I mean, the level of cuss that was in her mouth. Oh, but let me tell you, it blessed the deep parts of my soul.
Jesus.
Because first of all, because she's not here anymore. Second of all, because when she cussed, baby, it just had this certain level.
It was right on time.
God, it gave me so much joy. She said, I said, woo! And my aunties, you know, her sister be like, Leah, stop talking to, I'm gonna get you too.
Yes.
While she's cooking the peach cobbler. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I can't. Go ahead, Ashley.
I will say one thing about this. I will just say one thing about this, and I think that we need to really be careful in how we not us, but how people judge other people, because cussing is not cursing. Cussing is not cursing. Okay, it's two different things. If I'm cursing you, I wish but that's speaking death over somebody. With the power of life and death is in the tongue, right? So if you just, like you said, the words come out, like you said, Yolanda, people just talk that way. Some people, every other word is a beep, 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 but they're not cursing somebody's life or putting a curse on somebody. So I don't cuss. Jacory might hear one or two things come out of my mouth, but it's only when I'm around him. I am a reformed cusser. I have been delivered. I was a cusser. Okay.
Really?
Yes. I know you would never know.
Imagine.
You would never know. But yes, I have been delivered. But every now and then, when Jacory and I are joking around, and it's always in fun, a little something might come out my mouth. But that's about it. That's all you're going to get out of me.
I hear you. This is interesting. And as Christian David chimes in and says, Christian David, what's up, bro? Glad to have you in here with us. I'll just throw this up in closing. Casey Lee Pringle Jr. puts up, he says, not arguing at all. But what about what it says in the Bible? And he puts up Colossians 3 and 8. But now ye also put off all of these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. But now you must put them all away: anger, wrath, malice, slander, and obscene talk from your mouth. Then Ray Kemp up in Sacramento, my boy, he is in the building. He says, Ashton deserves an offering. Cussing is not cursing.
Yep.
And I love it. That's great stuff. Listen, we're going to keep things going, and in doing so, now Yolanda, this next thing probably won't be appealing to you.
Okay.
Not throwing shade, but I'm throwing shade to those who drive. To those of us who drive.
That was not right. I don't know why you did.
To those of us who drive, especially here in the Bay Area, you may by now have been getting text messages for Fast Track. I have been getting several. Those of us who drive in the Bay Area or use Fast Track, there is a major scam going on. Major scam where you're getting text messages saying that if you don't pay your Fast Track within the next 24 hours, there'll be certain repercussions. I have gotten several of these texts at work. I have gotten several of these calls about this. And even people that I just have random conversations with. I was in the airport the other day, and this was a major conversation in the airport where people are getting these Fast Track text messages, and it's leading to a major scam. I don't know if this is one of several. Now, I don't know if any of you have gotten I get these calls every day where someone is called and said, your son is in jail, or you owe this amount of money, or whatever it is. And they want you to be it, but you can pay it. You can pay this bill, whatever it is that you owe, by giving us iTunes gift cards. I see it every single day. So not only is it a Fast Track scam, but there are other companies or other people pretending to be whatever companies. I'm telling you, from your son is in jail, your mortgages
That's
behind or
awful.
whatever it could be, and they want
And
to
they
show you
have
an
real
IT fix.
information.
Yeah,
They have
it
real
looks authentic.
information,
Yeah,
names, numbers,
Mhm.
everything.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Now, after you, the way that you're saying this, it doesn't look like you have gotten any of these messages, but
Really?
Jacory, from your response, it sounds like you may have.
I went across the bridge, a couple of weeks ago, and I've never gotten a text message that said I needed to pay because I have my card linked, which sometimes that's a good thing and a bad thing. So I don't know. It's first of all, it's $8 to cross the bridge. So I'm trying not to go across any
It's
bridges right now in
Yeah,
Jesus' name.
yeah,
Misha,
it's
I see
ridiculous.
you.
yeah.
It's
Misha Boyd in the
ridiculous.
building, and she says that she's
Oh,
gotten those text messages, and she says thanks for talking about it. It looks shifty. I know we just got through talking about
mhm.
cussing, but she says shifty. It looks shifty, and yeah. And Christian David says, "I'm like I'm in Boston, and I ain't drove over no fast track, but sounds like he's been getting them as well." Leah Marie says that I just got a fast track text with a link to pay. It was a scam.
Yeah, it was.
BTK chimes in and says he received that particular text. And Leah Marie says that I hadn't gone to the Bay Area in a while, but yet she's getting these particular. Again, this is one of several scams that are going on.
Mhm.
Whether it's via text, whether it's an email, as Jacory mentioned, whether it is a phone call. All of these type of things are getting crazy. I brought this all up because I want all of us to be diligent and to do our research before we get caught up in any of these scams. And Yolanda, no shade, I was just messing with you.
No,
But
but should I tell
no,
you that? I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off. I do want to tell you
no,
about
go
another
ahead.
thing before I forget. So I did get the toll on my side. It came in as a toll text that you have this prior bill. I was like,
Yeah,
what? So then I did see that's that. But I want to tell you about another scam really quickly. There's a scam that happened to me and my family a couple months ago where someone texted me as my cousin. They text me from another number as my relative, and they said, "Hey, Yolanda, I'm in a bind. Can you send me some money?" And I was like, "What?" And she had never asked me for money, so I'm texting her like, What's wrong? What happened?" She was like, "This happened with my car, blah, 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 blah." And so I said, "This doesn't make sense, right?" So I was calling numbers like, "Oh no, I'm at work. I'm stuck. Something's wrong with her phone. She couldn't get through." And I said, "Okay, tell me the name of our grandfather." Right. I mean, although his name is common in truth, but I was like, you're only gonna know that. She was like, "Oh, it's Frank Earl, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "What? Tell me the name, blah, blah, blah." And everything I asked, they were able to answer. But what I didn't know is a scam that people pull. They go through your social media and they were pulling this information down. Come to find out, I'm just gonna be honest and transparent. Okay, I sent $100. My cousin was texting us like, somebody scamming my page. Don't send nothing. I don't know where they got the information. It was a huge scam. So I posted that on social media, and there are other people experiencing the same thing. So I just want to add to what he said. You have to be careful all the way around. If it feels
absolutely.
funny, it looks funny. If like I get it. Sometimes people say, "Hey, send me a couple dollars," but you got to just do really deep investigation and check in and all that kind of stuff. Like, just don't release your information, especially social media scams where they say, "Hey, I can boost your numbers, blah, 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 blah." All of that is
Yeah.
fake.
Yeah, I'm with you. And like I said, a lot of people are going through this. I want to mention what my guy Burwin Hutcherson says. He says, "Why is there a sudden influx of spam or scam calls and texts all of a sudden?" He says, "Seems there is a major breach somewhere. How can we avoid these scams?" He said, "I thought our phones had screeners. Our parents need to hear this message."
Mm,
Ashlyn.
Well, I think what's really important to understand is that budget cuts are affecting how many people have their eyes on certain areas of our lives. So the government is getting told, not requested, but required to lay off people in very important positions. We've had
mm,
an influx of air traffic controllers. That's part of the problem with what's happening with our airlines. The government is letting go of people that are in positions of security and investigations. They have let go of people like strategically. It's really, really crazy. And I think there is a bigger plan. There's a big picture thing going on. I just don't know what it is yet. But I think that leads us very well, Dito, if I may, into the call to to hold our dollars from certain companies. Details, is it okay if we get into this
Absolutely. Go right
here?
ahead. Yeah, go right
So
ahead.
there's a blackout being called a financial blackout, to not spend any money on February 28th. And I don't know if we have a graphic, somebody
I
has a
don't.
graphic of that, of the particular dates and times, but it's, it's Target and it's Walmart and it's Amazon and all of those things. And I wanted us to talk about it here because I found myself, like, I took it seriously and I literally stopped. I haven't spent $1 at Amazon. I have not spent $1 at Target. I have not spent $1 at Walmart. I completely held on to that money. But I'm like, where am I going to get certain items? If that's the case, right? It's fine for you to say, oh, don't shop at Target on February 28th, but let me go on the 27th and get all the things that I need on the 27th. You're still putting money in their pockets. So if we're going
Yeah.
to make an impact financially, you have to stop your dollars, not pause your dollars. You have to stop your dollars. Okay. And so one of the things that I did was, where am I going to get laundry detergent? I have a very specific laundry detergent that I like to get, and nobody has it. So I found a company online, and I think that that's really important that we find black owned.
Oh, wow, she went out. Okay, so there is a list that I can put into our chat. There's a list that's going through from Pastor Jamal Bryant, of a woman who has curated a list of over 300. I think the number is actually more than that. 500 plus companies from all over the country, that are black owned businesses. There's anything you can think of: toilet paper, laundry detergent, da 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 da. And so I can put that list when we end our live today in our chat. I mean, in our live chat, because I agree with her. I mean, I'm blacking
Yeah.
out. Soon as midnight hits, I'm blacking out.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm with you. So, and we mentioned this, maybe not to this degree a few weeks ago, but Leah says that you have it.
yep.
You got, okay. So anyway, so what I am finding out, we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, and one of my friends, Sunny Vaughn, chimed in and she said, well, there's so many black, people whose stuff are in these stores. And she mentioned that, but then as soon as I did my little research, specifically with Target has already started pulling some of these designers or these black-owned companies who have their stuff on display in these stores. Target has already started pulling these people's stuff from off the shelves, especially in the little city where I live. There was some stuff that let me just say, I'm
Right.
not a big shopper. I'm not a big Amazon person. My doorbell does ring, but it ain't from stuff that I bought. Uh, I don't go to Target. I can't remember the last time I've actually shopped at a Target or Walmart. We now have a little Safeway in my little city, and so that's if I go shopping, that's normally where I go. Even though I'm going to spend more money, but it gives me cheaper gas. I can get Safeway gas. Anyway, not to rant. Anyway, but they're already pulling these designers or these people's
Right.
information out of those stores anyway. So as Ashton was saying, that I think that we're going to definitely need to do some research and find other ways so where we can still support the people who we want to support, but not necessarily support it through the people's like Target and Amazon and
Right.
stuff like that. So yeah, so go ahead, Ashton. You got cut off. Something happened, or somebody called you. Something happened. What happened?
Yeah, my
But
apologies. My connection dropped. So I found a company online called Grove Collaborative. Grove Collaborative. I'm not sponsored by them, and neither is Shop Talk, but they are a company that sells sustainable and really good cleaning products, right? And it's the Method brand that you see in
Oh yeah.
Target and all that stuff, right? So that's what I use for my laundry detergent, all that stuff. They have the smell goods for your laundry and all the hand soap and the shower jet, whatever you need. Grove Collaborative. And if you sign up for a new account, I think you get 20% off your first purchase. But they are an equitable diversity inclusion company. And so we want to definitely
Mhm.
support them. So I started my account back up with them. I got my laundry detergent. It's delivering today. Amen.
that's
But
good
there are
stuff.
other ways. And I wonder if we could go back to back in the day where we went to the corner store. What can we go back? Can we go back to that where we went to the
You want us to
corner
get
store?
shot, or you want us to get shot?
No, listen to what
Right?
I'm saying. The corner store is not the original corner store. I'm talking about Safeway is a union company. Costco is a company that's supporting DEI. So there are definitely companies. I'm talking about, yes, local businesses. We make these midnight purchases on Amazon and we get all these boxes and we don't even need the stuff. And I wonder if we made it harder for ourselves to buy things, would we be more responsible with our spending? So if it requires you to go to the store to get the thing that you need, maybe you would be more inclined to like make a better decision about your spending. If you're spending hundreds and thousands of dollars just mindlessly on Amazon because it comes to you so quickly and easily, and I don't know about you, but that midnight spending bug is real. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And so if you have to get in your car, go to the store to buy the salad spinner or the new iron because yours broke or the something, you might be more inclined to just make a better purchase and support your local businesses.
And better
Yeah.
and to take better care of what you have, right?
Yeah.
So if you know, so I think sometimes like, oh, it's broke. Like, oh, my microwave got a spot. You're just more inclined to buy something instead of saying, let me take better care
Come
of
on.
what I have.
Yeah.
Because
Now what happened to her? Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Okay.
Incredible. Well, you know what? I tell you what, Ja'Cory, maybe it was prophetic. Anyway,
I
I
think
want
they're
to give a
listening.
shout
They're
out to.
listening and they don't want us to talk about this stuff. That's
Yeah,
what's
I'm
happening.
with it. I want to give a quick shout out to, first of all, we mentioned Francisco, or maybe I did not mention Francisco,
Hi,
but let me mention
Diaz.
Francisco, who is in the
Alright.
building. And then I want to mention my dude, Rick Hutcherson, who is Berwin's brother. And he mentioned a few different things. One, that the blacks don't own the corner store. BTK mentioned in specific that his corner store is owned by Abib. I could not stop laughing. Anyway, we also have Rick, who says the government
Right.
on y'all right now. I get it. I get it. Rick is in the building. Listen, we're almost out of time. Two things I want to mention before we go. And first of all, thank y'all for chiming in, and especially to our listening audience. You all make our show what it is. So thank you for chiming in and making things happen. Two things I need to mention in brief. One, we have to announce the passing of
I
the
know.
incredible Roberta Flack. Roberta
Yeah.
Flack has
Ugh.
closed her eyes, and an
She
incredible,
was-
incredible singer, incredible person, and
Yeah.
certainly our thoughts, our hearts are hurt, but our thoughts and
Yeah.
prayers are with that family for her. And we definitely want them to know that we want that family to know that we are thinking about them during this
Yeah.
time. Haven't heard of any type of services as of yet, but if we hear something, we will let you know. Last but not least, I'm cracking up at James Pugh because not Abib, yes, Abib. Anyway, yes. So again, we rest in peace to Roberta Flack. Last but not least, here in the Bay Area, in just a few days, we will get a chance to combine our efforts and do what we can to help out one of our brothers, which is the incredible Deshaun Little. Deshaun Little has been the Bay Area's promoter. He's promoted so many things for so many people. He's done everything that he can, as we do as well, to promote the Bay Area. But we are coming together at Love Center Ministries for an event for him. He's been going through some physical challenges, and we are coming together as a Bay Area, as well as beyond. As you can see, all of the different artists that are on this flyer. We'll get a chance to post this flyer on our social media, but this is coming up on March the 15th, which I believe is a Saturday, at 5 p.m. at Love Center. Those of you who are coming, you know parking over at Love Center is
limited.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you for saving me. So we definitely want to do what we can to make that happen. All right, y'all. I'm looking up at the clock. We're not out of conversation, but we're just merely out of time. I want to tell all of you, thank you for an incredible show. On behalf of Ashlyn Cole and Ja'Cory Protho, both in Hercules of California, my homie and yours, Yolanda Morant out in Charlotte of North Carolina. Listen, my name is Demetrius Toll-Free. Till the next time on this same Shop Talk Network at this same Shop Talk time, you know how we do it, and you can literally help us say it. Ow,
Uh,
ikashe, holla, holla, yo, yeah.